I don't live in sunny California, but I do live in beautiful New South Wales, so I'm outside on my veranda. It is not 9 o'clock at night, but it is 10 a.m. in the morning. And so I have decided to not have red Bordeaux, but to have coffee, and I feel like Lynch would approve of coffee. I could only find one ballpoint. I think this is a ballpoint pen, and triple fine liners, and I also have a pencil because I do love to write with pencil, and my foolscap lined paper is green, not yellow. I'm gonna sit outside and write like David Lynch. David Lynch totally pantses his masterclass, where I got all this information in no particular order and often clearly out of order, that you need to go where the ideas lead. You need to go where they are telling you to go, and you need to go where they are firing you up. And I love this idea. He talks about that you've got the idea, you gotta love it, and then you've got to add that with the best way to tell it, which is the medium. And this was so freeing for me. I'll talk about this more at the end of the video, but it was just so freeing for me, especially in my journey as a new YouTuber. The artist doesn't make the idea fish, it catches them and then creates them into something delicious. I love that analogy so much. And then he says, write down your ideas so you don't forget them. Another famous pantser, Stephen King, says he never writes anything down. He says journals are just a way to document bad ideas. If it's a good idea, it'll stay with you. However, David Lynch, and since we are doing David Lynchian stuff here, we're going to focus on that. Maybe we'll do a Stephen King video later. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see a Write Like Stephen King video. But the write your ideas down so you don't forget them. He says he lost 3 great ideas in his life because he did not write them down. And we all know what it's like to not write something down. Stress, sorrow, anxiety, fear, depression, these chase away the idea fish. So you need to get a good night's sleep. You need to take care of your mental health. These are all things that I totally ignore the fact that I have laryngitis and I'm still making a video. Intuition is your #1 tool. He says this is when mind or intellect meets emotion and they come together for a knowingness. And when you have that intuition, you can create something great. He says everybody has it, but not everybody has it the same amount, but you can cultivate it. He also says you want 4 hours. Every 1 hour of a good painting, you need 4 hours of uninterrupted work. He advises us to be selfish. And take that what it's worth. I'm totally selfish when it comes to my art. I definitely make it my priority, make it yours. And he tells us to educate ourselves, which is what I do all the time on this channel. I'm always trying to learn about what to do and how to do it better. He says the active life is life lived around working, and that is definitely my dream life. I would love to just create videos and write stories all day long. But I have learned so much from writing like David Lynch, and writing like David Lynch, I discovered, isn't really about writing at all. It's about being open and catching the ideas and catching those moments when I feel most myself. I don't need to feel guilty that I'm creating these videos on YouTube or that it means that I'm less of an artist. I'm as artistic as I am, and sometimes the medium is the message, and we have to go and follow the idea. And the idea isn't about writing something, it's about creating something, and creating something unique and honest and open. And I really, really loved that. I also realized that I write way more efficiently on these letter pads. I did not know that was going to happen. I thought I was amazingly fast typist and that I could never write as fast. But I have written more in the last 2 days because I've done writing on these pads, and none of them are yellow. I finished the green one and I got a pink one now. But they are free flowing, and what it does is it stops me from going back and checking things. So I use that story grid tool that I mentioned in this video here, where I write TK to a recently discovered plantster that there is something to be said about pantsing. And obviously, Stephen King and David Lynch are two very different writers, but they're both pantsers. And if you're a pantser, you are awesome, and I salute you, because there is some value in that. And don't throw the cold coffee away. Heat it up, because you know what? Pantsing, there's some serious value in that. Cheers. Check out this video here if you want to know more about David Lynch and about his classic characters.